Welcome to another edition of our InvestGhana Podcast, where we explore the sectors, opportunities, and partnerships that are shaping Ghana's investment landscape. I'm Ifwa Mills, and I'll be guiding the conversation today. Special thanks to GTP for this very beautiful print jacket I'm wearing for this episode. Today, our conversation turns to tourism. It is a very broad economic value chain that supports a number of areas such as hotels, transportation, food, business, tour operators, event organizers, artisans, technology providers, and communities across the country. Our topic will be investing in tourism, unlocking Ghana's potential as a global destination. For this episode, we are pleased to partner the Labadi Beach Hotel as they celebrate 35 years of five-star hospitality in Ghana. So Ghana has a very compelling tourism story, and today we will explore where the strongest tourism investment opportunities are, what must be done to improve the visitor experience, and how Ghana can build more competitive, sustainable, and year-round tourism economy. To help us explore these issues, I am joined by three very distinguished guests. First, we have Gilbert Aggrey. He's the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority. Most of us know him as Abeku Santana. He has spent more than 28 years working across tourism, hospitality, media, and destination marketing. He's also the founder of Kaya Tours Limited and other hospitality ventures. We also have Madam Mona Boyd. She's the Executive Chair of Landtours West Africa and Anumansa Beach Resorts, as well as the Managing Director of Avis and Budget Ghana. And joining us from our host partner is Mr. David Eduaful. He's the Managing Director of the Labadi Beach Hotel. He has over 30 years of experience in hospitality and is the first Ghanaian Managing Director of this hotel. So I want to start on a very personal note. And you individuals are very strong in the area of tourism with a lot of rich background, 28, 30 years of experience in the tourism. And that goes way back. I'd like to know, at what point in your career did you think or realize that tourism could be a very strong point, worthwhile developing or progressing into an economic activity and even a career? I'll start with you, Madam Mona.
I had moved to Ghana in 1993, and we had started an independent car rental company, which is a sector of the hospitality industry. But when I realized that the potential for tourism was when the clients that rented our cars started asking for ground handling tourism type services. And a year later, we started Landtours Ghana Limited because the demand was really constantly growing.
Right.
And we decided to turn it into a business.
Right. Abeku, how about you?
My interest in tourism started in 1997, 98, when I did my national service at the National Archives.
Wow.
And that was the early days of Panafest.
Okay.
And tourists, African Americans, were coming to Panafest to research and read about history. Well, I'm a science student, and during my national service, I was posted to this, public service organization. I didn't know anything about tourism.
I can imagine.
But it was fascinating to have people coming to research, and I worked at the repository where we had the archives of records, and they want to know the bond of 1844. I never studied history, but I was inclined to know. So what is it? So I started reading. Most of these public records, most of the public documents are kept at the National Archives.
Okay.
From the colonial days to date. All letters from government and they are all kept at the repository.
Right.
And that is where I was working. I was organizing the weekend cruises on the Dodi Princess, then organizing happy hour at the Volta Hotel, then also organizing events at the Adwa nightclub.
Wow.
So every weekend I leave Tema, go to Akosombo. I work from Friday and return on Monday.
Oh, wow. Full circle.
Yeah.
I'm sure when you were much younger, people used to envy your weekends that you go in and out. It wasn't seen as work.
No. For us, it was fun, leisure.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I see David, smiling when you were mentioning a few things. I'm sure he has quite a lot to also say.
To most of the
Yeah,
things that he
yeah.
said, especially from Mona in those days.
Yeah.
I started way back in 1992. And,
Okay.
As a young boy working in a hotel,
Yeah.
I see all these tourists coming around, and sometimes I had to go get them things from the art center and things
Yeah.
like that. When I close from work, then I'll support them.
Wow.
When that was one of our first,
you go way back.
I'm telling you, over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And we had quite a few vibrant tour operators in town that were bringing the African Americans. Personally, I made a lot of friends from some of these African Americans who used to come here. I remember one such is Senator Barbara Lee. So as a young guy, I took interest in all these things, especially to do with my business as a hotelier.
Yeah.
So, we make money from tourists when the rooms are occupied, and so on and so forth. There was no need to even struggle hard to fill your rooms once you have the tourists coming. And once they come, they also spend.
Yes,
and so your food and beverage side will also be taken care of.
Yeah.
The art center boys, they were making money also. So tourism, my interest in tourism, as I mentioned, started from there and realized the potential. Because it cuts across all spheres of life, and everybody in the chain benefits. And tourism has one of the biggest, chain. What do you call it?
The value chain.
The value chain is massive. I mean,
that's
drivers, everybody.
Yeah, that's quite interesting to note, and I mean, it's something that potentially a lot of people are not fully aware of the extent to which tourism has impact. I mean, I chanced upon the 2025 reports, and we see that tourist arrivals have gone up. I mean, you paint a picture of, the past being quite vibrant, but I see that there must have been a decline over a number of years, and now we see probably starting from when the year of return, and then beyond the return, and then now new government policies and programs that are December and GH and all of that. It's allowing the vibrancy to be picked up once more and throwing more light on the potential of what Ghana stands to offer. But with respect to the reports, we see that tourist numbers have increased over time. 2025, I think 1.3 or so. We also see that there's people are spending more, but there's a slight decline. So we have more people coming, but they may not be spending as much as they used to spend. Abeku, do you think that there's a challenge that we are not addressing, considering more people are coming, but they are not spending as much? Is there a problem within the local circles that we are not addressing to support that spend?
So the interpretation of that figure that you have is not that the people are not spending. It is because now Ghana's currency is very stronger against the forex. Yeah. If you look at 2024 and inflation rate and the
indicators,
the strength of the CD against, so that's why the numbers are up.
Similar
now. The dollar to CD is about 11. So cumulatively, if you put it together, the numbers are higher, but the spend is lower. It's because the CD has gained strength against the international forex. But yes, using the baseline of year of return and the numbers, Ghana's international arrivals has steadily grown. In fact, the whole of Africa, according to the UN Tourism Barometer report for 2025, 2026, Africa grew about 8%. Ghana grew about 3 to 4%, which is a significant growth. If you compare that to the global.
What about to Africa? How, if you compare that to Africa as well?
Africa is 8%.
No, so Ghana in relation to?
So out of the 8% of the growth of Africa, Ghana grew by 4%. That's what I'm saying, that it's a significant growth. You see, we had not collected data. We were not doing research until 6-7 years ago. So now you need the data as a matrix for you to assess and evaluate your performance. Before this conversation, Mona and I were having a chat, and I was saying that we had enjoyed tourism by default. Tourism is one of the latest, newest ministry that we've had. The first Ministry of Tourism came in 1993. So it is because from His Excellency, the late President Jerry John Rawlings, saw the opportunity, the potential in tourism, and that's why the Ministry of Tourism was built, so that we can now formulate policies. So from 1993, so you can see that all the references are made from
93, 94.
So if you take it from that point to today, we can say that tourism is growing, but tourism as a product, or like any other product, is also very competitive.
It is.
There are emerging markets. I was telling Mona that emerging markets in West Africa are Senegal, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Benin.
Those are competitors.
They are not emerging. I said they are emerging because one, they are also targeting our diasporan market.
Right.
You know, with their culture and heritage.
Yeah.
But we had been consistent from 1993 engaging the diasporan community. I remember when this PANAFest thing started. It was a program proposal from a private person, and that is Dr. Ifwa Sutherland. She proposed, the integration of our African American family or the diaspora into our tourism, and we needed infrastructure, and the infrastructures that were built to support the experiences were one for conference, MICE event. So that is when the National Theatre was built around the same time, and the Accra International Conference Center was built around the same time, so that when these stories come, it's not only visiting the slave dungeons, but we can also, and Ghana started hosting international programs like the NAM conference, the Non-Aligned movement. So it's not only the culture, not only the heritage, but even MICE. So it's evolving. Tourism, it's a new socio-economic program that government is also using
as a vehicle to
support and develop our economy. So we are steadily growing. It's not bad.
It's quite impressive. The results so far. And Mona, I wanted to come to you, but you have a different point of view. I see.
You have a different point of view. I think we shouldn't pat ourselves on our backs so much.
Okay.
We are growing, but we should be doing much better. In 93, 94, I think that the tourism rate was like 3%, as you said. But from my statistics, what I'm looking at from last year from 24 to 25, we only grew at 1.4%.
Okay.
And that's just very, very slow.
Is that cut across tourism, or it's a particular?
It's tourism.
Okay.
All tourism.
Okay. No, within a particular activity, or
no,
it's
just
across. Okay.
Yeah. And the industry is resilient. It does bounce back from the catastrophic events that takes place in the country, and it's a strategically important industry, but it's performing far below what it should be performing.
Okay.
And I really think that's because we don't have a major strategic plan.
Okay.
To guide the industry into the future.
Okay.
And if we don't do that, we're going to continue to get this marginal growth. Look at Africa, the whole continent. 84 million people came to this continent, and we got 1.3 or 4% of that 84.
1.3 million. 1.3 million.
I'm talking percentage.
Okay, percentage-wise.
84 million. We got 1.3 million.
Okay.
We can do much better than that.
I do agree. I just wanted to find out the source, because the source of that.
Well, some of it came from Ghana's own. The source of UN. My sources are the UN and the Ghana Tourism Report.
Okay.
Their annual report.
Okay. That's fine then.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a mixed feedback. But David, do you are on the ground as well? You have a hotel here. It's been in service for 35 years, and I must say congratulations to you and your staff again. You've had a trend of very good service, excellent service for many, many years. How do you see last year, 2025, coming into this year? Are the numbers looking more positive? Are there more experience? Is there good feedback?
Yes, there's positive feedback, especially when it comes to December in Ghana.
Okay.
Those are the periods that we have a lot of the tourists coming through.
Okay.
But I've also identified a trend that there is a bit of consistency in the flow of traffic in terms of tourists coming in. Now you see even students coming through.
Okay.
Yes. As I speak, there's a group of students, about 160, in a competitor hotel. I don't want to mention the name. And these are positive.
Yeah.
Because those are the signs we saw in the early 90s. And I can see the early 90s coming.
But you see,
now. I agree with Mona if we say we shouldn't pat ourselves on the back. The numbers are good, they are positive, but it could be better. I'm saying this because the whole of Ghana is a tourist attraction. The whole of Ghana is a tourist attraction.
Okay.
But what have we done to market it or develop it?
Okay.
Yes, currently I've seen signs of improvement in our data collection and the strategy to bring it up to speed. But we need to do more than we are doing currently. Because there are so many things lacking in the process to get all these tourists coming through to our land. Infrastructure, for instance, is key. But we seem to forget about some of these things. If we are not forgetting, then I don't know what, because you cannot bring all these people and you don't have the right infrastructure
to support. Yeah.
So yes, the revenue has reduced by about 10%, but according to the UN, and there is a reason. As my brother mentioned, the exchange rate is a factor, but also, if you don't add value to what you have, how will people spend?
Okay.
We are not adding value to what we have. If you go to a place like, you take the Dodi, as my brother mentioned here, Dodi, you go to Dodi Island, what do you see? You see all these kids from 19 Kojohoho, these kids, the same kids, some half naked, doing their dancing and drumming. What have we added for tourists to entice tourists to spend? It's the same thing. What you don't see anything after the 3-hour boat ride to Dodi.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things. There must be conscious effort. It has to be deliberate to create an environment where there will be spending. Because people have money to spend. If you don't give them the opportunity, they won't spend. So these are some of the things.
So if we want to attract those high-end tourists, we really do have to up the game in terms of infrastructure.
Right.
And I mean, the roads are being built now. I would think in 2 years, that problem is going to be behind us. But yet and still the facilities, the government needs to really upgrade all of the facilities.
Right.
Because they're not there. You don't have roads. If you're driving from here to Kumasi, do you have good facilities, rest stop facilities?
Right.
Those are the kind of issues that I would like to see addressed.
Okay.
Because I think once the people will come, the products will develop.
Yeah.
The ingenuity will come through from the population and the products will be developed. And then we need to brand the country and send out. We can't just say we're the gateway. We need to say more, We really need to brand it in such a way that people really understand what the country has to offer.
Yeah. So on that note, Abeku, a lot of this, well, not a lot, but some of this falls on the lap of government to facilitate. Where do you think government stands now? What's the status of facilitation when it comes to some of these issues that have been mentioned?
Well, I agree with Mona and David on their submission that we need to develop our infrastructure. But however, you see, tourism is private sector driven and public sector led. One of the major challenges or constraints that we have in our tourism service delivery or product delivery is quality service. The gap, is the quality service. The quality service is not government, it's the private sector. So in as much as government owns the responsibility of enhancing the infrastructure, the quality of the experience is delivered by the private sector. So the private sector also has a responsibility. You and I know that in Ghana, service in our tourism hospitality value chain is not the best compared to some destinations that I don't want to mention. though government has the responsibility, and when I say government, the Ghana Tourism Authority, which is the regulator by the act that establishes it, and all the legislative instruments or regulations were supposed. But if you are an investor, Mona and David, can attest to the human capital development that they have invested in their businesses. So if collectively all proprietors and entrepreneurs in the tourism, hospitality industry are investing in human capital development, improving on the service quality, perhaps we are going to see, growth in numbers, but not that marginal, because then visitors will love to come again and again.
Okay, so before I can see Mona wants to give a feedback, but just let me ask him one more additional. So with the feedback you've given, private sector and quality of service, that aside, governments, what can they provide irrespective of what private sector?
First, before David will fill his rooms,
Yeah.
it is because the Ghana Tourism Authority has been out there marketing the destination for people to come.
Okay.
How did they get to know about Labadi Beach Hotel?
Okay.
Government spends a lot in marketing,
branding, and all of that.
We attend a lot of international trade shows. Mona and David have been participating in our trade shows that the government subsidizes. We pay for a stand of about £50,000, and they come and set up to sell to DMCs and operators to come. That is one of the contribution government is doing. Now, branding Destination Ghana as the most preferred destination for people to come for tourism is government's responsibility. Creating the enabling environment, including infrastructure, expanding our airport so that there can be access, visa accessibility, and for people to come. That is the role of government. And I'm saying that government is doing its part. The part that government is doing is creating the enabling environment, creating the infrastructure or developing the infrastructure, marketing the destination Ghana. Let's take this year, for instance, the year 2026. His Excellency the President has been very consistent at United Nations, reparation, bringing, conferences here, engaging other, diaspora, communities, driving awareness that Ghana is the preferred destination when it comes to culture and heritage.
Yeah.
So having done all this, I'm not saying we are doing so much so well, but we are doing something that is visible. That is why the numbers are tricky. Now, when we do this, the product or the experience is delivered by the private sector.
Private sector.
So it's a shared responsibility.
Okay.
It's a shared responsibility in the sense that, my seniors are experienced and know very well that people have seen that tourism hospitality is the new low-hanging fruit.
True.
And they are coming in because they think they make money. People are going into Airbnb, lodges, hotel accommodation, but go and check the service quality. Who are the kind of labor that they are employing or recruiting for this business? Are they picking people from their homes, relatives with no training, to deliver the service? So that.
Let me respond to that. Are you regulating? Are you regulating those
I could see you tapping, yes.
that you're talking about?
Yes,
Are you giving them licenses?
Yeah.
Are you setting up standards for
Yes,
the
yes.
kind of people they hire? Because if that happens, that will not get through the cracks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But I just want to say something in terms of the private sector and its responsibility towards providing excellent service to the people that visit Ghana. Yes, that is our responsibility, but it is government's responsibility to work with the schools to create or graduate the kind of people that we need to hire. There is a dearth of qualified people ready to work in the tourism industry because the education that they need has not been provided. Okay, even in the schools that have tourism majors,
majors,
they know little more than geography when they come out. So they can't really help you. You need 2 years to train them on the ground. So it's a huge, big burden. We do not have a teaching school in most countries that have viable tourism and really value this industry. They will make sure that there are teaching universities or teaching schools to graduate people ready to work in the industry. We sent Maoli to the United States to one of such schools to get an MBA at Johnson & Wales University. Is one of the top culinary schools, but they do other things. Before he came back, the 2 years he was there, and he had worked as a maitre d' in a restaurant, a front desk manager.
So
and
he rose up.
He went through the whole,
the ranks,
all the areas.
Yeah.
And when he came back, he was totally a different person. This is the kind of experience that we need to be able to give to the young people that want to work in our industry. And like the University of Cape Coast should be seeking out universities like David's, even like the resort that I have, Anna Mansa Beach Resort.
Yes.
Should be checking those, working with those universities
to support,
to provide that opportunity, not just send us some intern or some national service person after they have graduated. Make this a core part of the curriculum. They do not graduate unless they know what the role and the job is of a maitre d', of a front desk manager. Okay, this is what we need. That is not happening. And it's going to take both the private sector and government to do that.
Thank you.
So agreed. I would like David to come in, and then I will come back to you on regulations and all of that, yes. So David, your take.
Okay, so for us to move forward, we have to identify and know that tourism and hospitality are specialized areas. They are not just ordinary service areas that you can lump them into just any university. We need a specialized institutions. That is what happens all over the world, where tourism is
it's a serious
business. What we have here in Ghana, our curriculums don't give us that opportunity to do tourism in the practical aspect that is needed for you to have a certain caliber of people or let's say the human resource. It's not happening. I mean, I can attest to that because even recently I took up a course that I don't want to mention, otherwise my school would come and chop my head off. And I realized that even the cost structure, it doesn't give you so much hope because I'm doing it I'm a practical person. I'm already on the ground. I've been doing this for 34 years.
So you already know
So I understand what it is all about. So if I come to a school that I want to add more knowledge to and you give me certain curriculum and it doesn't give me hope that those who don't know at all, then what are we going to get out of that? But I am already on the field, so I understand most of these things. So what I'm trying to say here is, yes, it's a private sector led, but the government should also come in to lay the foundation where there will be that collaboration. We need a proper hospitality, tourism and hospitality school in this country, not what we currently have. What we currently have, they come out and it's a pity to say that even if you keep training them and they don't even understand, but they have the certificates that they've gone to so and so school, which of course I don't want to mention. And it's not nice because we face it all the time. So sometimes
it's a cost to the business.
It's a cost to the business. Now you have to retrain them. So I agree that service quality in this part of the world is lacking, and it's not because sometimes we say it's the nature of Ghanaians. No, we need to give them the tool we need to give them the right training, and they will be able to deliver. How do we do that? We have to do that right from the beginning, and that will come from the institutions. And the institutions must be the right institutions, not institutions that are for everything, not the
general.
Because tourism and hospitality is a niche area that we need to look at.
I think David has hit the nail right on the head. It is the institution. I'm a product of University of Cape Coast, where I studied tourism and hospitality management at the graduate school, at the graduate level. But in our class, I think probably I'm the only one who owns a hospitality facility and as a student. So the theory that I acquired, I applied it in my business establishment. However, if you go to East Africa, I'll mention countries like Kenya. Every hospitality university owns a hotel and a restaurant.
That's it.
This is not government. I'm coming.
I was about to ask.
Yes, I'm coming. Let me land. KNUST is teaching tourism and hospitality. University of Ghana is teaching tourism and hospitality. University of Cape Coast is teaching tourism and hospitality. Kempa is teaching tourism and hospitality. So what happened? And that is what David said. Now,
who should take the first step?
it's theory, but tourism is a specialized area. It's a specialized area. It's a service industry that is more practical than theory. So if you teach them housekeeping, if you teach them front decks, if you teach them ground handling, if you teach them tour operations, and you don't have, the business, the practical experience for them to do it, apply it, for you to assess them, to see, their level of understanding. Because if you go to Kenya, 70% of your grade that you make is practical. 30% is theory. And that is why, when you go to these East African countries, you see the service quality. The people are very passionate because they have been trained. In Ghana, it is theory. One may even study hospitality, but will never has access to the culinary equipment. You understand? One will study tour operations, and they won't even go on the field. I don't want to mention any university, but like I said, I am a product of University of Cape Coast, where we were taught, tourism and hospitality. And I'm saying that in my class we're 9. I am the only student that graduated and is an operator, both in hospitality and in tours. But we didn't get opportunity to have any practical, knowledge or practical experience during the training. Now, I don't want to mention facilities. You have Elmina Beach Resort, which is deteriorating. You have certain state hotels that are there. They have to partner with the university, the institution that produces the graduates or the students, to feed the industry, so that whilst they are studying, they will have the practical experience, the hands-on experience, and like Mona said, not like internship or national service. It must be part of the curriculum. The practicals must be part of that. That is where we can develop quality human capital for our tourism and hospitality industry.
So Abeku, can you promise?
Can I promise?
Go ahead. You promise that you will take that on at the Tourism Authority, and you can work with the universities to get them to, because they don't have to build hotels. There are many hotels here that will partner with them, and we even offered to pay the hotel for this kind of service. What is the tourism? What are you making? You're not going to lose money by doing it this way. We will make it up.
Mona,
they have to be motivated.
Mona, before you build or establish Anomansa, University of Cape Coast Department of Tourism and Hospitality had approached, I'm talking about over 10 years ago, had approached Elmina Beach Resort that we want to partner you. Give us your facility. We can even help you run it, because we train the students. As we speak, the university has a restaurant, as you know, but it's limited. It doesn't have the capacity to set up, tourism hospitality establishment. It's an educator. We need partnership, collaboration. So the private sector can partner, and the hotels, the restaurants, can partner the universities or the institutions, so that part of the curriculum will be practical, and they will come to the establishment to gain the practical experience, so that they can feed the job market or the industry with practical experience, not only theories. So service quality, as I said, is one of the shortfalls of repeated visit to Ghana, and experienced Mona and David can attest to it.
So
because if you come to Ghana and you spend so much, what is the average spend for 10 days? It's about $3,800. Why would I come and spend $3,800 in Ghana and I go to a restaurant, order food, and the food that comes is different from what I ordered?
Yeah.
And
so there's a direct correlation between training and the quality of service, and I think that foundation is very
established.
Yeah, it needs to be really established, and I think, you've made him pledge almost.
Yeah, I asked him, what is he going to do about it? We know it's a problem.
Yes.
The proposal is on the table.
Okay.
So it's something that I'm sure. He's even given a hint that the government is, and GTA is really working towards it with the examples you've given. Yeah. But that is a very low-hanging fruit where collaboration is something that Ghanaians don't tend to do very well, collaborate. And it's something that we really have to push because it's necessary for growth in the industry.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I want to just go into other areas of the value chain. There are many areas: aviation, transportation, food, logistics. It's a very wide value chain. Creative arts,
culture, film.
Clothing, textiles.
It's the biggest value chain you can find in this planet.
How are we making sure that, because each of them seem to feed into the other? Clothing, textiles, fabric, creative arts, they feed into entertainment, they feed into hotel industry. How are we making sure that value chain is working? Their relationships are identified and able to, birth opportunities for business to happen. Let me have David quickly say something. Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting correlation because for us in hotel, we need all these functions to be on top in terms of aviation. So, for instance, we feed on if airlines are working correctly, prices are moderate because most of the time it has to do with cost to get the people coming through. So there's everything to do with all these areas. If the airline is too expensive, we don't get people coming through, and it becomes expensive. If, for instance, whatever input you need is not available, it makes it difficult for you to also get the right quality of service for your clients. So it fits into each other. Now, let me digress a bit. In my area, for instance, it's always said that hotels are expensive. I get my linen from outside and I import, and it's not cheap. Okay? It's not cheap at all. My beef, I have to get it from outside. So I'm running you through the value chain. I get it from outside because I need the quality, and it's not cheap. So at the end of the day, if I don't get all these value chain aspects, my business will not also be able to thrive properly. So all I'm trying to say here is we feed on each other in the sense that we need the right quality, the pricing. Pricing is key in this business because, as Abeku said earlier, if you don't price well and you price yourself out, the tourists will go to other places where it's cheaper, because those places, they produce themselves. We don't produce anything here. Even when it comes to food, come on, let's say chicken. It's difficult to get the right quality of chicken, and also consistency. It has always been a headache.
Challenge,
Yes. So then you fall on the one from outside,
imported,
which you will get the right quality, because don't forget, we are not catering or servicing only local markets. We are international. So all this value chain aspects of our business, it's a very critical one. If it's not looked at and done properly, we will not also survive.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And it's a factor. I don't want to go into detail, otherwise then I may say things that we may not leave here today, because recently I decided to, I think about 5 years ago or 4 years ago, I decided to go the local products, because I want also
to give the opportunity
to the local business, which is my call it. I believe in this country so much that I would have loved that everything that we do here, or let's say ingredients or whatever, is sourced from Ghana. That's my passion. And I've always said it anywhere I go. Now, I started with this soaps, alatasimna, and all these things. It wasn't easy because you start and you don't get it. When they bring you samples, it's fantastic.
When the real product
then you start. Then it starts to get bad. You have to then correct things. You keep correcting. How long can you continue to be correcting? But you see, if you get it from outside, you know that it's consistent. You know this is the quality you are getting. So these are some of the challenges that we, from our experience, we get from the value, that we would love the local content to be part of the value chain. It will make our work very easy, and also prices will come down.
Yes.
Because I cannot go and buy something at a certain price and then come and sell it lower.
Can I ask David a question?
Yes.
I want a bit of clarification.
Yes.
The quality or the standard quality, who set it? Is it the customer's preference, or you have a certain kind of standard quality of products, like the ingredients that you want? I'm asking this because there are some destinations in Africa that when you get there, you are compelled to take their standard, in terms of food. And one I can mention, like Ethiopia, they are not serving an European kind of meal.
And you know that from the
But
onset,
if Ghana is serving, if our hotels food standard is European, then we have to source the products from Europe.
Okay.
Then the price will be high. So there are destinations. I can mention Cabo Verde, though Cabo Verde is very close to Portugal. I mean, you go to Cabo Verde,
You get what they have.
and they are serving you with kechupa. That is their national food. You find it in the 5-star hotels. So I commend David because, like he said, he's very passionate about promoting domestic, product, as he mentioned. You can even see from his apparel. He's a very, Ghanaian, always authentically Ghanaian. But haven't we set a higher European standard for ourselves? And for that reason, the kind of beef that you want, you have to import it.
Let me come in
He
here.
wants to clarify. Please.
Let me clarify this.
Okay. That's why I said I want you to educate.
It is not our standard, it's international standard. Okay, so I do a la carte here. You know very well that chicken is supposed to cook at a certain temperature and a certain time.
No.
You go get local chicken. Oh no, I'm being that. Sorry, hold on. Okay, what I meant is you cook and it doesn't get the right. Yes. I mean, is it for? So we breed our chickens for only live soup. So the chefs, they have a certain, so
a
it's
certain
not like
training as well.
Exactly.
So they're also used
our
to
beef.
Yes.
What beef do we have here in this country? Is it the beef you go and buy from Agogloshi? I don't know. So these are the issues we have. You see, beef, for instance, you're supposed to age them at a certain. The aging, we don't know anything about aging in this country. I'll tell you that for straight.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about aging to get the beef at the right quality.
Maturity.
Yes. So all these things are factors. And this, as you were going there, the institutions that have to set the standards and also you were going to ask Abeku something earlier.
Right.
Those things are very critical. If we don't get them right, we will mark time.
Yeah.
We'll mark time because everybody will think they are doing something right. But it's not the right thing.
Yeah.
So, for instance, beef, everybody will go into breeding of cows. But they are not doing the right things. They are not giving them the right feed for you to get the right quality. Because if I go and serve that hard beef to a foreigner, yes, I'm trying to be Ghanaian, but is that the way to go? Are they going to accept it? Even we ourselves, we don't like our own because it doesn't. Look, I try to introduce local rice in this hotel. And this, I'll say it. My own staff were against me. I'm telling you this. Oh, Ghana Modi and yet. Mister, what do you mean? I'll be eating local rice for the past 7 years.
Yes, I eat local rice too.
So I ask myself,
But when you go to Nigeria, when you go to South Africa, they serve you with local rice. So why can't we do that?
So let's get the
I think we have
parameters
been
right.
used to, we've been accustomed to a certain kind of taste,
I think
which
it's
is
two things
European,
too. Yes.
and that has become the standard or the benchmark. So because of that, I'm not saying that I agree with him to a very large extent, like the chicken example. Yes, if I'm a foreigner and I come and
There's
your
certain
chicken is
expectation, yes.
very high.
Yes.
But I think it's because we have not been deliberate that we want to consume our local products.
Yes.
So switching it, that is why he tried it, and his own staff were like, no, we don't like it. But in destinations that the hospitality value chain source their ingredients from the local market, what they have been giving them or producing for them is what they have been using for a long time. Now, if you look at our trade deficit, you have the better informed statistics. I think that the importation of certain food that we have, its equivalent in Ghana, we have not been deliberate. Why have farmers stopped producing cocoyam? Why have farmers stopped producing?
I mean, it's true, but
they are not buying. The hotels are not buying.
They are not buying. But anyway, before I say give my feedback,
They are not buying. If they are not buying, what do you want the farmers to do?
Well, I agree with David. His standards are international.
Yes.
Because probably more than 50% of his guests
are
are
foreign.
international.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so the guest is really the one that sets the standard
Determined.
Guest is king,
at the end of the day. And if you look at hotels, even like Kopinski, it's not that people don't want to serve local food. It's basically, do you have the capacity to serve it? Do you have the right products? Kopinski has imported a Nigerian chef to cook the food just correctly, the way the Nigerians like it. So that is really responding to their clientele, and that is what we all do. Almost every hotel, David's and my hotel, and all of the other hotels we use, they have local dishes on their menu. People don't, but what people, because most of our clients are international, they tend to eat a very international menu and food that they recognize.
So with all this experience, we still have diasporans coming and increasing, with December and GH being very central. And we realize that, I mean, irrespective of the challenges, they still love Ghana. And they're even increasing local tourism. Ghanaians are actually going around the country a lot more.
Look, the way to go is also promoting local or domestic tourism.
Absolutely.
Because as we always say, charity begins at home.
Yeah.
You don't know your environment or your country, how do you sell it out to somebody else? So we are doing the right thing. We need to encourage ourselves to promote aggressively domestic tourism. We don't have to shy away from our own. You see, the biggest challenge Ghanaians have is we try to shy away from our own. We think our own is we always look up to the foreign ones as
So it's the pride.
It's the pride, and we
Yes.
need to run
Local
away. We
pride,
need to
yes.
move away from that.
Yeah.
For us to also have that tourism, like other countries. So for instance, as my brother here said, in Kenya, they eat and drink tourism. In Tanzania, they eat and drink tourism.
Even Rwanda
In
these
Rwanda,
days.
it's
Yes.
growing.
Local
We here try to also improve on our the local content by, for instance, we're going to enlarge, or let's say, open up our restaurant. We're going to do some refurbishment just because we want to increase the variety of Ghanaian dishes on the buffet. And this is being done deliberately because we believe that the way to go, if you want to attract tourism is such that people come in and they want to experience something different. They don't want to also experience the same thing. So yes, you have to infuse, you have to get the local one. But are we ready? You see, this is where we all come in to set the parameters right so that the quality will be there, the consistency. Even if they have the quality, they supply you once. The next day you ask for it, you have a big group and you call the supplier, nothing. The supplier is not able to supply you. So then you are bound to fall on the foreign one. So there are so many challenges in that value chain that needs to be addressed. And yes, I know it's private sector led, but there should be an institution to draw the line and to come up with the
Standards
standards,
and controls.
controls, so that everybody would then know that, okay, this is the way to go. So
Yeah.
we don't do anything anyhow, and everybody just doing what he or she likes, and thinking that they are doing the right thing.
Who's supposed to set the standards? Whose job is
I
it?
think government on this occasion needs to come up with that, and then the private sector would also follow. Because I cannot set standards for private sector. I mean, it has to fall within the
Yeah. So I agree with David and Mona. As experienced industry giants and captains, they know it, and will not take their recommendations and advices for granted, because they are on the ground and they are feeling it. So I agree with you. Ghana's domestic tourism is doing quite well.
It is.
Yes.
If you take the report, even from 2024 and from 2023, Ghana Statistical Service report, 15 million Ghanaians traveled across the country internally. But we need to do more. If you have realized, the Ghana Tourism Authority has been very intentional in partnering certain destinations in developing the tourism experiences or products, so that it will generate interest for locals to also travel. Not only the tourist sites and attraction, but they must have an immersive experience, more than one night. If you visit a tourist site, it's just a day. There should be a comprehensive activity. You immerse yourself at the destination. We'll take Kweu, for instance, which is a destination that was developed by Ghana Tourism Authority. And we can attest to it, how over the years, consistently, for over 15 years, the whole Kweu community has developed. Go and see the buildings. Go and see hotels.
So we have to do this for other areas.
No, I'm coming. I'm making a point. I'm making a point. So when you say that we are doing something, but maybe we are not saying it, so people are not seeing it. If Ghana Tourism Authority had not promoted the destination call, it was not promoted by any individual.
That's true.
Including the investment in paragliding, and now it attracted tourists. People are going there. Go and see hotels in Kweu now.
Yeah, it's a different space.
People, private sector, because of demanding accommodation, started investing in accommodation and other, infrastructure in the value chain. This year, you saw a private investor or developer like Kwame A+ doing something at Gomoa. We went in to support. This year, Volta region, Voja, we started developing. So we have been intentional developing domestic tourism destination, so that it drives traffic. Because the kind of domestic tourism that Ghanaians are experiencing is not sustainable. Why? Most people travel because of funeral. And for me, that is not a sustainable tourism. We don't want to rely on funeral. People should not die before people can travel to go and see. Most people will not go to other parts of the country, because they don't know the experience they will get there. But look at this conversation that we're having. You've understood the concept of tourism. We've not had conversation like this. So such conversation also enlightens us. Then for us to understand the intersectorial, interagency collaboration. We can't do it all alone. We need to come together.
Partner.
So we commend, GIPC for leading this initiative, because, hitherto, you were seeing investment as the physical, infrastructure. You don't see tourism as an infrastructure.
It seems intangible. That's what we started.
So now, you see, Mona was saying that when Simon is going for something, they should carry the tourism people along, because when it comes to tourism, we are also part of it. So I'm happy. Now, to talk about the regulation, 2011 is when we had an act. 2011. That is when we passed an act, as an instrument, a legislative instrument or law to regulate the whole or the entire tourism. Now, after the passage of the act in 2011, you needed some legislative instruments or regulation, take sector by sector. So from 2016, we had the LI 2338, which is the regulation on accommodation. We didn't have any regulation. 2019, we had LI 2393, which is a regulation on tourist site and attraction. How many years now from 2019? We're talking about 7 years. So Parliament is now also getting to understand. We can't, Ghana Tourism Authority will not just get up and go and make law. The laws are made from Parliament. And I'm saying that tourism appreciation is now growing. We are all now. Sorry?
30 years.
30 years. You're right. You're right. But we didn't have the legislative instrument.
But it's taking a long time. We need to catch up with the rest. Yes, we have
look at the facts.
It's way ahead.
Look at the facts that I've given you. I said the Tourism Act was passed in 2011, but the legislative instruments to make the act work, some even started 2016 and 2017. The act cannot. Sorry,
I have it on my desk now. The 2016 Act on accommodation.
Yes,
because that's what they use for inspections.
We are even drafting new memorandum to go to Parliament for Parliament to pass it because there are new entrants in it.
And the license as well.
The licensed professional ones are suffering. The small, micro ones, they were not captured in the regulation, like the Airbnbs and the homestays, and they need to be regulated. But you can't just get up. We need a law so that the law will guide us. And that's what I'm saying, that we have become aware of the potential in tourism, and that is why we are putting all the the enabling environment in place for us to get there. The Ghana Tourism Authority, per the Act and the mandate, we are the regulators of the tourism trade industry enterprise, whether it's hotel, car rental, whether it's tourist sites,
the whole value chain.
The whole value chain. We are the regulators. Now, before we could act, we needed a law
to guide
to Parliament to give us that mandate, that power. And I said, it's just few years.
You're still babies in that regard.
Again, the industry is expanding. I don't want to tell you the staff strength of GTA to do field inspection, to go out there to find out. Let's take like Chado, Medina, Nima, to go around to find out those who have established the trade enterprises who are not licensed. It's quite cumbersome, tedious work. It's a huge task, but we are getting there. Now we are closing down facilities that are on license. Now we are suspending licenses that are violating the regulation. Somebody had a hotel, they've turned it to a hostel. It violates the regulation when we get to know. And we are also getting feedback from social media. Now people are posting experiences. When we get to know, we send our service quality assurance officers. They come to you to come and inspect. If you fall foul of the regulation, we strike. So I want us to commend ourselves. Then also to identify where we fall short and encourage ourselves, because we are doing well. We are doing well. And like Mona said, we can do much better.
We can do better.
So we need to first appreciate, our gains, our strengths, then also appreciate our challenges and weaknesses, unique as they are, then work towards it. And I believe that with the partnership and collaboration with the private sector,
we should.
When tourism is good, it's good for all of us.
It is.
Today, it is the number 3 GDP earner. It beats cocoa. Why?
We are number 4 in Africa, I was shocked to see the UN report.
Oh, you were shocked there?
We're number 4. So we take Egypt is number 1, then Morocco, then I think Tanzania, and then Ghana.
Mona would disagree
Mona
would disagree. But Mona would disagree with you.
Egypt and
Egypt
Kenya.
Is number 1.
But
we beat Kenya too.
Mona would disagree.
And even Rwanda, South Africa as well.
We beat them too.
David, Mona would disagree with you.
So based on this, I think the potential is in no doubt that Ghana, if we make a deliberate effort to improve on our tourism sector in terms of what people want to expect or to see.
Yeah, I wanted to also find, I mean, on the diaspora issue, what do, from your experience, because you deal with diaspora all the time, and I know that, I mean, we'll have this and then one more, our closing comments. What do the diaspora want? What are they looking for when they come to Ghana? Because you've been working with them very closely for many years.
Actually, probably 40% of my clientele is diaspora. The other 70 is other people.
Okay.
Okay, but I do know them because I am a diasporan, so
Okay.
I understand what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Basically, most diasporans are looking for some kind of reconciliation once they come here. They're looking to be changed when they leave, but we don't really have anything that helps to facilitate that process. Now, we were talking earlier, and we were talking about enhancing the castles, and I told you they had attempted to do that, but it wasn't
successful.
When they were set up. It was successful, but it wasn't
sustained.
It wasn't maintained or sustained.
Yeah.
But that's something that the Museums and Monuments Board can
Need
do.
to take up,
But
yeah.
diasporans come now and they leave the castles angry because the European has a bar and restaurant and drinking spot inside a sacred place, which
I guess the sensitivities are a bit, yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these are the kind of things. Look at what they're looking for. But if you want to keep them coming, they need to have some kind of spiritual kind of
Authentic.
experience.
Like, yeah, the pilgrimage experience,
Exactly.
yes.
Experience.
Yeah.
And that is what they're coming from. And if they come and get that, if that kind of programming takes
They will
place,
keep coming.
They will keep coming, and they will come in larger numbers.
Okay. And,
And,
sorry, go on.
Yes,
Fine.
I was going to, just to add to Mona's point from the beginning. Oil will finish, gold will finish.
Tourism
but
doesn't.
tourism doesn't finish.
Yes.
And
I
that's
would-
one thing we need to look at. Because
Critically.
if the United Arab Emirates started developing their tourism artificially,
Yeah.
because they knew their oil will finish.
finish,
And they are making more money from tourism
Than-
than even oil now.
Yeah, and that leads into our final question. And you've mentioned some of them. So what do you think could be 2 opportunities each that if you could have worked on packaged, where do you think would be good for investors to put their money, put their time, put their efforts, and that would also support economic development and growth? Abeku.
If you look at the numbers, business tourists are more than leisure tourists in Ghana.
Yeah.
Why? Because we don't have that extensive plethora of leisure products. And as Mona even mentioned, luxury travel, experience or luxury experience we don't have. There are few luxury experiences that we have in Ghana. So it is an opportunity. It's one of the openings that if any investor want to come, they can niche in luxury.
That's for the business, the releases for the business.
In business stories. Not only that, I'm saying that more tourists come here, but we have business tourists more than leisure tourists, as in the inbound. I'm talking about the inbound.
Okay.
We struggle for spaces for conferences and
Nice, yeah.
venues, for events.
Yeah.
December, we struggle to get spaces. There's demand for our destination. There's demand for, music concerts. Ghana is a very strong, creative arts economy in Africa. And we want to host African musical concert shows. We don't have
The space,
facilities that can take 30,000, 50,000, except the
We have a
stadium.
stadium.
Except the stadium and Independence Square.
Yeah.
But we need to spread it. We need to spread it
Regionally,
to other,
yeah,
parts
wide, yeah.
of the country. So there are opportunities.
So MICE, you've mentioned MICE. And
MICE.
and then
You see, Ghana's relative peace and stability and the strong macroeconomic stability in our region, put us at a very competitive advantage than
Right.
most countries in West Africa. And that is a fact.
it is.
We have been peaceful, stable, and that's what we sell. So as, investment promoters, you sell the country to invite investors to come. One of the unique selling proposition for Ghana is the peace and stability.
It is. You're right.
2, the robust economy. 3, we have the skilled labor. Though we say we have to improve on it, there are gaps. We have it. They are ready. They have that penchant. They want to work. If we train them, Ghanaians are not that lazy. We need to encourage them. We need to, develop and sensitize and conscious, creative economy. I give it up to the youth, vibrant youth who are working in the creative space. So there are a lot of opportunities. If you want to come and set up studios, film studios, look at our creative guys. They are doing amazing stuff, but they are struggling. You understand? So these are the areas that I think if we do, Nigerians did not deliberately invested in their creative. It came naturally. You understand? But if you look at even West Africa, how Ghana, we have not even been conscious about, intentional about it, but yet we can compete them. You understand?
Yeah.
So there are opportunities in the creative arts, there are opportunities in MICE facilities, Labadi Beach Hotel, when they, it's now a MICE destination.
Yes, it is.
You understand? When they develop their dome, they are holding conferences here. So why can't others do it?
The same.
You understand? So there are opportunities. People want to come to Ghana, not only to go and see the castles, the forts. Some want to come here for business because they know that Ghana is very peaceful. We are the only country you can go to club 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You can't do that in some African countries. So this is our unique selling proposition. And every investor who knows that if I put my investment here, I will get returns. Why not? So it's about time that the Ghana Investment Promotion Center also take a look at tourism investment opportunities and tourism assets that we have in the country.
You'll be coming along with us on that ride, so as you tell us.
Okay.
So let me have Mona also say, what do you think are 2 areas that you
I would look at beach and coastal tourism.
Coastal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, building resorts, if you're looking for investors along the beach.
Okay.
We don't have resorts in this country.
Okay.
So and
One is coming soon.
Yeah.
Watch this space.
Don't worry, watch this space.
Okay. Well, we don't have many.
Yeah.
And people still connect with the ocean, you know. It's something that people always connect with. So I would say that would be one. And the other one would be regional tourism. I'm not talking about within Ghana. This is not so much as for investors. But I think we need to market the countries around us together. And we need to come together. We need to get one visa, like we do in East Africa. And we should be marketing at least the ones that you can drive to. Cote d'Ivoire and Togo and Benin. That's where I would really focus on those 2 areas. In addition to the MICE, as he said, and and the festival kind of cultural tourism, really big with the Gen Zs. The potential is.
There's one thing we need to look at. Africa's population, 60% are below 25 years. So there's a serious potential. So by extension, Ghana has the same. All right. We don't have institutions for hospitality and tourism. We need investors to look into that direction.
Training.
And that will serve the hub, the West African region, because in West Africa, we don't have what the East Africans have. And if we want to develop our tourism, we need to develop it right from the word go with the right institutions. Because if you don't get the right institutions and we do cut and paste, and as we are doing currently, our curriculum is not the right ones, we will not go anywhere because you need the human resource to move the agenda. So if the human resource is not having the right skill or the right approach to things, everything that we put across will not work out well because ours is about service. It's intangible. The people come, they want to experience something unique, and it all has to do with the human resource. The infrastructure is good, but the human resource is the one to drive the agenda, to promote the infrastructure that you have put in place. So we need investors to look into establishing a proper tourism and hospitality school in Ghana, and that will feed the West African region. This will be a huge investment, and I want the investors to think through it carefully, because we are looking at 60% of the population that is below 25 years. So they all want to go to school. And the hospitality area, as it's growing, I mean, the tourism and hospitality is growing, it's one of the fastest growing industries. And everybody wants to go in there because you want to associate with it. And it's an interesting area, I must admit. I didn't start with that as my calling. I was an accounting student, but I entered and I felt like, oh, wow, it's interesting. So I got hooked to it. It's an area that once you get hooked to it and you have the passion for it, you cannot let go, and you want to move on and on. So if you have an investor come to establish, it will go a long way to help, because as Kwame Nkrumah said, the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless with the total liberation. So Ghana's hospitality and tourism is meaningless unless we rope in the West African region, as Mona said.
Yes.
And that will help all of us to make money. So I agree with both when it comes to tourism. Look, business tourism is growing, because when they come for these conferences, like 3 days conference, after the third day, he wants to go somewhere else. He wants to enjoy the country. He wants to go for anything to also give him something different apart from what he experiences.
Yeah.
So it's a holistic approach.
Yes.
Let's get these basics right, and this country will not depend on gold or oil or anything else. I'm telling you.
Thank you so much.
We can also, the role of the GIP is planned. I just have a little suggestion also for you. I want to throw this out. As you collaborate with industries like ours, you know that we need someone that can manufacture bedding, linen.
Yes, you mentioned the gap
exactly. Here. Look for people that you can bring here to do that. Look for the gaps.
Yes.
There are a lot of gaps.
Yeah.
GIPC, look for the gaps.
So
The tourism people should put together 10, 15 tourism projects ready to go, land ready to go, financing lined up. Bring them here and let them fill a gap. You know what I mean?
That's very important.
That's what, we don't do that kind of planning, strategy, and coordination, you know. And if we do that, as he said, you will never talk about lack of employment again for young people.
On that note,
you see, I still maintain. Oh yes, my closing statement. We want to commend the private sector. They are strong partners in the tourism promotion and development, and especially Mona with her over 30 years experience in cross-regional tour, and particularly she has created some experiences that was not created by government. She has created about 7 villages, to give the diasporan community an integration into the locals. If you go to Volta region, there's a place called Togome. She developed it. And if you go to Salaga, so she brings tourists here and integrate them in the local communities. And I want to commend her for that, because we've not had any DMC operator in Ghana doing that. She's exceptionally marvelous, and I want to commend. And of course, as for David, we say that he were triple honors, marketing man of the year, tourism man of the year, the first, Ghanaian to manage, head this, facility. He's exceptionally wonderful man, and but we should appreciate the efforts that government is doing, and that is showing the numbers. His Excellency the President, has devoted money. I think maybe by the end of this month, Terminal 2 and Terminal 3 is going to be linked. That we are going to use both terminals. There's going to be a connection from Terminal 2 to Terminal 3. The traffic at Terminal 3 in the evening with the big airlines like BA, KLM is crazy. Now, this tells you that our government is very responsive and committed to, create that environment for the private sector business to thrive. We have seen also the infrastructure. Let's give ourselves some time. It started this year around February, March. It hasn't been even a year. If you look at the speed at which the infrastructure is, let's give ourselves, let us by 2028, I think that all the road is going to look awesome. The next thing is the service quality that we are all complaining. The private sector cannot do it alone. The government, which is the Ghana Tourism Authority, also has a responsibility. Now, those operators who are paying the tourism levy, you have association, the Hotels Association or the Tour Operators Association, you need to demand from us. You need to demand the contribution that you are making to the Tourism Development Fund, the levies that you pay, that we should train, we should use that money to train, because that is what the fund was set up for.
Yeah.
You understand? But if you don't come together as, collective body, it will be difficult. We can't come and train staff of Labadi Beach Hotel, then we go. No, they need to come together, then have a program. That's why they have association. So the association should come together, make a proposal to us. But already we have engaged GATOF, the Ghana Tourism Federation, and HOTCAT. We are going to do what we call mobile clinic, across the country to train frontline workers who are the first ambassadors to receive the envoys that comes to the hotel. Concierge, porters, restaurant, we're going to train all of them. And this is one of the vision, because His Excellency the President during this year's State of the Nation address lamented on poor customer service that our tourism, he said it. And we have taken that challenge, and that's why we've signed a tripartite agreement with HOTCAT and the Ghana Tourism Federation. So very soon you are going to see us, doing a roadshow, coming to, train and empower the people. So thank you so much, GIPC, for this opportunity. It's a great initiative. Let's have more deeper collaboration and partnership in this regard. And I think that, Ghana will be great for all of us.
It will. And as you said, Ghana will be great. Yeah. And Ghana is getting greater. And we are all, we all love this country, and we are passionate about seeing it grow, develop, and mature economically, for all our benefits. We thank you so much. David, Mona, and Abeku, we are grateful for your time. It's been a very interesting conversation. And we hope that you'd all keep tuned and stay tuned to the InvestGhana podcast. Thank you so much. We also appreciate Labadi Beach Hotel, our partner for this episode, as the hotel celebrates 35 years of hospitality, service, excellence, and memorable culinary experience. Many thanks to GTP as well for sponsoring my jacket for today's episode. Thank you for joining us on the InvestGhana podcast. Please follow GIPC on all social media platforms for more conversation on opportunities and partnerships that are shaping Ghana's investment future.